It was a situation of desire that I'd gotten used to, and I didn't think of the consequences at the time. I thought, I've already gone this far, might as well keep going as long as I can get away with it. One night, a dancer named Aries came over and approached me. We were flirting back and forth. She told me that she was taking me home that night. I couldn't control myself, and so I agreed. Sarah was classy. She was the great mother, the great wife. When you disappear in a fantasy world, you've got to find a person that seems dirty and wrong to do that with, and that's what Aries was. She was taboo. She was a bad girl, somebody that it's okay to get dirty and wrong with. I had gone over to her house. I was like a druggie about to take a hit. I didn't care about anything else. This is what I wanted, and I was going to do it. Afterwards, I remember thinking, how did it get to this point? All the initial emotions were gone. All the justification for what I was doing beforehand were gone. And now I'm left with, what did I just do? I didn't want to do it again. I was thinking, I made a mistake and I need to stop. But she wanted to continue the relationship, and it excited me. I started agreeing to it, and it turned into an affair.
I didn't know what to say about my marriage. I didn't have one. My husband was gone. He was just gone.
She would question where that time was spent.
I started accusing him of cheating. He would just be adamant. There is no way I would ever cheat. And how could you accuse me of that?
The affair, it was all about sex. We didn't have a real emotional connection. She wasn't special to me. But there was a point where Aries turned more emotional towards me. Her solution was that I get divorced and spend more time with her. And then she told me that she was gonna call my wife and tell her about it. I didn't know how to react. That wasn't what I was looking for from her. I wanted to get out. I wanted to be done with it, and she wanted to draw me back in. I was just worried about, how do I keep Sarah from finding out?
We loaded the kids in the car, and my cell phone rang. And I looked at the number on the screen of the phone, and I didn't recognize it. And he got a little bit strange.
It was the woman I was having an affair with. My initial reaction was to lie about it.
I held it to my ear, and my hand was shaking, and he kept trying to take the phone, not violently, just please, 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 please give me the phone. And I said no. I heard a woman's voice, and she told me that she had been having an affair with my husband for the past 6 weeks. I could not handle it. It broke my heart. It was the worst day of my entire life. I had told myself a long time before that I would never fight in front of my children. And so we drove home.
I was very nervous. I didn't know what to expect, really.
We got home, and we put the kids to bed. All hell broke loose. And I screamed, and I cried, and I asked a lot of questions.
She wanted to know everything. She wanted to get it all out, and I, of course, was afraid. I didn't want to lose Sarah. I didn't want to lose my kids. Eventually, I just came out with everything. I told her about all the stuff I'd done. It just all came out. It was painful, but I didn't have anything to hide anymore.
I was just shocked and overwhelmed. I just kept saying, I don't know who you are. I don't know how I can live with a stranger. I remember saying, you have lots of places you can go. This is a place I have, and this problem will not come into this house anymore.
Sarah kicked me out of the house. I was just completely miserable. I hit rock bottom. I was still working, but I was living out of my van for about 3 months.
I had actually decided to leave Brian temporarily, maybe forever. I didn't want to talk to him.
There was no meaning to anything I was doing. I still loved Sarah. I really loved the girls. I was losing completely my family and my wife, and I realized I needed to do whatever it took to get them back. And it's where I discovered the drive to try to make myself better. I called Sarah. I asked her to forgive me.
He said, I don't have anybody except for you and the kids. And I know I don't deserve to come home, but can I come home? And there was just something in me that said, I'm married to this man. I can't deny what it means to me. And I have to see if it can be saved. I said, do you want to change? And he said, yes.
When Brian and Sarah showed up, their marriage was teetering. It was definitely on life support. But he actually has to realize, I broke your heart.
Looking back now, I would say that I was being selfish. I wasn't fulfilling my duties as a husband and a father. What I was doing was affecting the people around me, even though I didn't want to recognize it. I was afraid to recognize I had a problem.
He was depending on that fantasy world more to deal with the real world. He went to strip clubs for emotional comfort. If he got stressed out here, he'd go there.
I thought if I could understand how he got there, I really believed we could take him out of it. I just was learning how someone that was so kind-hearted and so lovable and so boyish, really, could be involved in this lifestyle.
Brian was also diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. That's definitely a variable. Post-traumatic stress is something that happens in some kind of traumatic event. You shut down emotionally, you almost disconnect as if it didn't happen. Post-traumatic stress disorder doesn't cause someone to be unfaithful. They don't know how to deal with the trauma that's happened in their life.
I could talk openly about what I was struggling with and not feel guilty about it. I saw a possibility to change and to become better. I've got to man up and start being less selfish and start being a better father.
Everything was far from being good, but I think I saw a glimmer of hope there.
I had a goal now. I had a mission. I was hoping that we would be able to rebuild our marriage.
I was not giving up on Brian. He knew he had a problem. Forgiveness was a very deliberate decision for me. My faith is the most important thing I have. I just said, okay, I have to forgive the little, I have to forgive the big.
It was a major turning point. I remember having the desire to be a better person.
I realized how much I love Brian. Brian is a great father today. He's present physically, he's present emotionally.
Our marriage today isn't perfect. Something like this just doesn't go away overnight, but we both love each other and we both have the desire to make it better.
We're not perfect people, we're a real family. We have real times of disagreement, but we can talk about things that most couples can't talk about.
Accountability is huge. Having somebody that you can just be honest with them, know they're not going to judge you, but they're willing to help you through whatever it is. Our relationship today is closer than it ever has been because we've got that connection that is only achieved through hard work. Sarah's ability to love me and forgive me through all the stuff that I put her through is just amazing.
People change. Anyone can change. There is no power greater than love.